Okay, news time. We got a data download and basically it was something we saw coming, but also not. So, Yu-Gi-Oh! Is coming a little earlier than expected, and it will sadly not be a full feature festival as I predicted. Instead, we will be getting a Yu-Gi-Oh! Puti feature. It's a bit strange because we've only ever had one Puti feature in the game, and that was Kimetsu no Yaiba about 5 months ago. I think I was not the only one. I think there was many of us at the time that thought that the Puti feature might be becoming a sort of more common thing, but they didn't, obviously. There's been a 5-month gap. We assumed they were dead. As I said in the prediction video, I was really hoping for a full feature festival here. I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh! Is deserving of that. A much bigger event all in all. But I'm not going to complain because getting some new Yu-Gi-Oh! Content, cool new units, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. So, what did we get? On the screen, you're going to be seeing the first of our 4 new units, and that is Ryo Bakura. He's an Aqua type. He is available on this gacha, which we sometimes call these semi-limited gacha, but the thing that made them semi-limited gacha isn't really a thing anymore. The way they updated pools and stuff like that, it's not a thing anymore. So it doesn't really have the same meaning, but we still use that term semi-limited for any gacha that only adds 1 new unit, and you're guaranteed to get that 1 new unit on the 5th multi. That's the case with Ryo Bakura. Following Bakura, we have a free unit in the form of Taya Gardner, aka Anzu Mazaki. She's a fire type, she's a free gacha unit, and she has her own special evolver, which is her little figure from the Monster World board game. It looks so cute, it's awesome. To pull on her gacha, you need to collect dice, and you get dice from this event. Certain characters boost the drops for dice. Seemingly, it's just all the Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters. And there's a bunch of cool things in the gacha, the dice gacha that is. We've got tickets, we've got fragments, we've got jewel shards, and of course Taya and her evolver. You're also going to get the evolver through special missions, so that you won't have to rely too much on like gacha luck and getting fucked over and not being able to evolve and stuff like that. One of the items in this gacha is the monster card, which can be used to summon on a gacha where Yu-Gi-Oh! Characters have a boosted rate, which is similar, seemingly, to the JoJo ticket gacha, which we just had on. It's still on right now. This is potentially really nice. If one of 2 things. 1, they haven't put some kind of arbitrary limit on how many of these cards you can get. And 2, the rates are not complete garbage for A, getting the tickets, and B, once you get the tickets, pulling the unit. So we'll see how that plays out, but there's a lot, this could be interesting. I know they have a bit of a track record for making the rates on free stuff abysmally low, to the point that anybody that gets it is one of the luckiest men going. But a small amount of hope that this is going to be a nice, tasty gacha, free gacha, for all of us to enjoy. So like I was saying, the dice for this gacha are earned from this event here. This is Taya's Monster World, which is based around the Monster World arc in the original Yu-Gi-Oh! 7 volumes. We talked about this in the predictions video. Like I said as well, boosted characters are going to boost the amount of dice you can get. Taya is included in that. She also boosts the dice drops, which is nice. And Bakura is I assume is going to be the highest boost for this gacha, but there is another unit that might also get quite a big boost, so we won't know until it comes out. Next up, we have the Joey Evolution event. Clear the stage daily for goodies. As usual, clear the daily missions to collect the cards Jinzo, the Legendary Fisherman, and Insect Queen, 3 cards that are related to Joey in the manga. And you can use those to evolve Joey into 6-star. This this just aside for future reference, they're doing more and more of these Evolver events as the year goes on. If you're the kind of person that's not too bothered about the idea of getting dye or, you know, getting anything really from the medal store that's going to cost a lot, it might be an idea to feed 4-star dupes of characters that you think are within that have a reasonable chance of getting an awakening, or evolution rather. Or at least, you know, like some people may even just do all of them. Get all the 4 stars, all the 3 stars up to their max luck barriers. So for the 4 stars, that'd be 75 luck. You get them up to that 75 luck, and then you're done with it. And then later down the line, they get an evolution. You've only got to get, you know, you'll get a couple of dupes from the event. You'll get a few dupes down the line. It won't take that long to max out their luck. Some people need those points though, the medal store medals, so they can buy tickets and that. So I would understand why some people wouldn't want to do that, but I think at least for characters from like semi-major series, it's probably worth doing. Joey is obviously an example. There was another one quite recently where I said, you know, people should be, you know, it was Kenshin. I was saying Kamiyakaru and Myojin Yahiko feed the dupes. Well, I'm just saying, something to bear in mind, because if you get a bunch of 99 luck characters, you obviously get boosted box space, you get better daily rewards, you get better friend point gacha. It's pretty cool. Moving along, we have a new Ultimate Class stage featuring Seto Kaiba. Like I mentioned in my predictions, this is Yu-Gi-Oh! The early years content. This is not Duelist Kingdom. This is Kaiba versus Yugi, Death T, the triple Blue Eyes, not Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, just 3 Blue Eyes, versus Yugi. And it just seems to be a straight up Ultimate Class. Like, unless he gets a Catastrophe or Challenge stage later, which wouldn't be unheard of, we're even getting that during this event. We've got like a weird hybrid event with Kira where he's actually a free unit from a limited time event, but he's got a Catastrophe stage where you get his costume, and he's going to have a challenge stage that gives a medal, gives a jewel or whatever, I don't know. So it could happen. We could get a Kaiba stage that has a aura costume or some shit like that later, but for now we have no indication of whether that's going to happen or not. Now, the last new unit is, of course, limited Yugi Muto. Yugi with Exodia, as predicted. And yeah, limited gacha, you know, you're used to it at this point. 9 multis to guarantee the unit, or in my case, 9 multis to have literally any chance of getting the unit at all. If you look at the 2 Yugis side by side, as I have put them on the screen, the sprites do actually have some nice key differences. You know, the sneakers, the better shading. I mean, the costume's completely different. It's the school uniform. He doesn't have all his BDSM gear underneath this time. And like, especially on the face, the shading, the darker lines around the eyes. It's clear that they have improved their sprite work since, well, I think Yugi came out over a year ago now. So these changes are nice. We've been getting some good sprites recently. I appreciate the effort being put in. And yeah, I do think he looks pretty good. Does he look 9 multis good? We'll see. We'll see. But I do really like Bakura's gacha, at least. Not only because I want Bakura, because he's an awesome unit. You know, 5 multis to guarantee a new unit. Not ideal, but it's still pretty good. And okay, version 1 Yugi's featured. That's not ideal for me, but Machi and Neji, both actually pretty nice units that I don't have, so okay, we'll see. We'll see, but I think we'll probably at least go for Bakura. As for what else we know, we're getting 2 sale packs here. The standard whale pack, 10k yen for 3k rubies and a jewel of each kind. The other sale being, of course, the 3060 yen for 750 rubies and a 5-star ticket that guarantees you a random one of 4 featured units from the Bakura gacha. They've been doing these packs a lot. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. It really depends on what they're doing with the gacha for that event. Rebecca and the Corridor Coliseum event are returning. Kira, like I mentioned before, is getting a new challenge stage, which gives the Jewelers a reward. We don't really know a lot about this stage, but I'm sure we'll find out soon. A popular blue characters gacha is coming up. Probably 10 or so good blue units featured. Pretty nice filler gacha also coming up for the Yuya Fungami Unity Battle, featuring Daki, Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, Kishibe Rohan, and Tachibana Marika. There's at least 2 characters there that I would really like to add to my squad, but I don't think I'm going to be pulling on that one. And finally, well, I mean, this is normally where we talk about new stage data in the files, but this week there was none. However, we got something even more juicy. You see, Jumputi players who have played in the last few months will know all about crystals. It's the new way to farm characters where you collect crystals for that specific character from these stages, and you trade them in at the store for copies of said character. Well, for some reason, crystals for 3 new characters were added to the files early. Their events aren't there. The characters' sprites, their sprite sheets, there's nothing. None of it's been added. But the crystals have. Those crystals are, of course, for these 3 characters. Fuzuyura Kogarashi from Yuna and the Haunted Hot Springs, Kilvern from Dragon Quest Dai's Great Adventure, and Hades from Saint Seiya. We can only speculate what kind of events these characters will have, and I mean, you know, speculate when they'd be added, and who else is going to come with them. Are there going to be more units from their series? Is it going to be like a crazy ensemble? I don't know. But for now, what we do know for sure is that these are all free units. They're on the crystals, so they're free. They have to be a farmable unit. At a guess, I would say they probably are from the next upcoming event after Yu-Gi-Oh! And they'll all be added to the files properly in the next data download, which should be next week, Thursday. Then that event will probably happen. I mean, I'm guessing the Yu-Gi-Oh! Event's like a week, and then the JoJo event's ending on like the 12th, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Probably starts on like 12th to the 19th, and then whatever this next event is probably starting on the 19th. Now, I would go out on a limb and say, you know, if it is a big milestone event, there's a very good chance that we might not get a data download next Thursday, or we might get a small one, and then they'll save the data download for the milestone event until right up when the event is happening, just so that it doesn't get spoiled, because they take the milestone events pretty seriously. They don't want that to leak. Not to say that they might not just add it anyway, but typically, with the bigger events, you will find that they hide that stuff. I was surprised they didn't hide it with JoJo. But with a lot of the bigger series and a lot of the bigger milestone ensemble stuff, they have done in the past. So, I don't know, but I'm pretty excited to see what it could be. Kogarashi being free is really nice. Though I do wonder who will be chosen as a gacha unit from that series, because, you know, well, I mean, if any are chosen, but, you know, there's so many options, but I don't know who you would have as a go-to for a gacha for that when we already have Yuna, unless it's like an alternate version of Yuna, but I don't see them doing that just yet. I don't know. Kilvern suggests Avan is going to be added into the game as a playable unit. He's already a legend summon, but playable this time potentially as a limited. Though personally, I think there's probably a good chance he's just going to be standard gacha. And finally, Hades. Now, to me, Hades just screams catastrophe class stage. He just does. Which would mean that we have our second Seiya limited coming. Catastrophe stage means new limited. So there's got to be a new Saint Seiya limited. There just has to be. Now, in my opinion, they're going to go for God Cloth Seiya, because that's going to rake in the big bucks. And if it makes sense to me, because if God Cloth Seiya is coming in the next few weeks, that would explain why Gold Cloth Seiya did not return for Saga this time. Most likely because they've got a bit of bad press recently. Not bad press, but you know, they've got a bit of backlash for the way they've handled certain gacha, and I think they did not want to piss off more people, especially Saint Seiya fans here, by giving them the old bait and switch by releasing this shiny new Seiya but not announcing it until everybody has already spent rubies on the old one. So that's just a, you know, that's a shot in the dark theory, but I think that does make sense. So there might be some truth to that, we'll see. And yeah, hopefully they're coming in the next few weeks. I hope it's a nice, beefy, juicy event. I hope it's the 7 million downloads milestone event. Something massive, huge ensemble, something we can all sink our teeth into, something that's going to have a lot of coverage to please a lot of different people. And hopefully I didn't get everybody's hopes up too high just then, because I have a history of letting people down on my prediction. But we do have an additional thing to end off on. The new series winners for the Jumputi survey were finally announced. Now, I say winners. Technically, this is the 3 most voted for new series. Not like, you know, like they didn't say they're only going to add 3. So it's not really the winners, it's just the 3 most voted for. So whether that means more will get added later or not, I don't know. But I'm just letting you know that if others get added later, that's why. But the 3 most voted for series were Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, Uso Renkin, and We Never Learn. I'm a massive fan of We Never Learn. Hopefully this event, when it finally comes around, will be an opportunity for me to get people to join the hashtag Rizu gang. Uso Renkin is actually a bit of a surprise. I mean, look, it's not like I didn't think it would come eventually. I know it does have fans. I know it wasn't like a flop or anything. People did read the series, but I just really didn't expect it to perform that well, especially against so many like series with recent popularity. And Boruto is Boruto. I'm not really too surprised it got a lot of votes, and you know, as much shit as Boruto does get, the anime is kind of alright. It's kind of pretty good. Like, not good, but it's good. It will do good. It's fine. You know, it kind of explores and expands upon the Naruto world. I'm not going to tell you it's you know, a work of art, but it's good. I can live with it. I don't hate its existence. The manga is, well, it is what it is, you know. But the point is that these 3 series are the highest voted. Hopefully other series are still in contention. I think there's probably some series in there that performed better than they expected, some that performed worse than they expected, and that's going to give them an idea of what to do in the future. And you never know, in the future, if your favourite didn't make it on the list this time, their time could still come. But don't lose hope. Yeah, that's about it for the data download news. We'll be back again when the banners drop. We'll be doing some summons for the Yu-Gi-Oh event, and until then, I'll see you guys next time.